dual suspension, dual disc brakes, a huge 15 Ah battery and powerful 600-watt motor is just part of the awesome specs surrounding the new edition of Kugoo Kirin G2 Pro. But is it good enough? Let's inspect. Well, not bad for a sub-$1,000 costing scooter. Really good to meet you, Michael. My name. What we do on the channel is to inspect fresh and cool tech. That's the new G2 Pro by Kugoo Kirin. A new electric scooter which comes with really bold promises about fantastic range thanks to the 15 Ah battery, the dual suspension, which I already enjoy quite a lot, and also a motor which is supposed to bring very decent acceleration. That, by the way, is the new 2022 edition of this particular scooter, because Kugoo Kirin have been revamping this year most of their popular models. And our task today to find out whether that's any good for you. Let's go. Being priced at around $800, this is less than what the predecessor used to cost, and also undercuts a lot of other scooters with dual suspension setup. In fact, the price is slightly more than most good city scooters like Xiaomi Scooter 4 Pro and Ninebot Max, both of which have no suspension at all. So it is indeed interesting how this budget spans in terms of quality. Therefore, let's quickly unbox and set the Kugoo Kirin G2 Pro up. It comes packed inside a regular scooter box. In fact, there is a protective transportation box, and inside we can find the original packaging with most of the marketing information on top. It is a retail unit, so this is exactly how it may look like when ordered online. Links for that you're going to find as usual in the video description area. The whole thing weighs more than 32 kilos, so if you can get someone else to help you during unboxing, even better. If you're alone, this life hack to open the box from the bottom is priceless, something that I've learned thanks to the awesome contributions by you in the comments of my previous videos. In terms of assembling, you won't feel that overwhelmed. The handlebar needs to be mounted. It uses similar to regular bike handlebar mechanism, so untighten the screws, place it, and then tighten the screws back. If I were you, I would check most of the joints and mechanisms, especially around the tires and the brakes. You can optionally install a saddle, something I plan to do by the end of the episode because I prefer to ride in standing position. Where I live, it is much better to be able to quickly respond to road and environmental changes, which the sitting position is not really helping for. If we quickly take a look at the spec sheet, we're going to notice the 600-watt motor, which can provide peak power of 1200 watts. It's placed inside the rear wheel and has maximum torque of 23 Nm. There's front and rear suspension, folding mechanism, maximum load is 120 kilos, incline capability is around 20%. The battery has the capacity of 720 watt-hours. You can maintain maximum speed of 45 km per hour, there's dual braking system, and there's a lovely colorful display. These really are a lot of specifications. Some of them sound awesome, some of them a little bit confusing, so let's talk about these things one by one. I'm gonna start with what I really like and enjoy, and that has been overall the build quality and the design of the scooter, because it's rock solid, really amazing. After 100 kilometers of riding, it doesn't feel like something is weakening, probably with the exception of the folding mechanism here, and I'm gonna come back to this point in just a few moments. Now, there are two components which are of a concern to me, because as stated before working on the script, I was having the chance to ride around 100 kilometers, and I'm concerned about the motor and the battery endurance. So the motor, it's a 600-watt motor, but the torque here is just 23 Newton meters. Just for a reference, there are 250-watt motors which can extract around 60, 70, sometimes 80 Newton meters, so that here is ineffective. To give you an easy to understand comparison, well, between 0 and 25 kilometers per hour, it accelerates a bit slower than the Mi Scooter 4 Pro, which was kind of a huge surprise to me. Also, going up hills is not that comfortable, feels sometimes a little awkward, especially given the scale and the size of the scooter. As for the range, I'll give you the estimations in just a few moments, and there are really a lot of other interesting components which we should talk about. Since you now know that the motor is nothing spectacular in terms of acceleration, make sure to adjust your expectations because going up hills in off-road environment is not that easy for this scooter. But if it's a rather flat terrain, given the really well-working suspension, this is really gonna be a lot of fun. From all the Kugoo Kirin models tested so far, and believe me, they are a lot, this one offers by far the most comfortable riding experience, which doesn't come with unnecessary annoying noises generated by cheap parts and loose mechanisms. All the components are working like charm, and although it's not one of these expensive types of suspension, it's doing a great job for smoothing the experience and is very helpful when dealing with boards or sudden bumps. The riding in terms of smoothness was very close to the experience I got with Varla Eagle 1 last year. The tires are 9-inch of size, pneumatic with off-road texture, so I hope punctures are unlikely to happen, but it makes good sense to think about converting them to tubeless just in case. Very wide and long board, enough room for your feet, the stem is also solid and has adjustable height. I've always been a fan of this concept with Kugoo Kirin scooter. Now, the other component which I didn't like is the folding mechanism. After only 10 kilometers, my stem started to feel loose because the mechanism is simply not good enough. If you own the scooter and if you ride it aggressively, it's likely going to need fine-tuning every now and then. I think despite this issue, it's rather safe because material here looks solid, but don't let it become too loose. The folding hook looks nice as well. You're going to notice the signature orange color being used as decoration for most such elements. This gives extra nice feeling from the scooter's design. Reaching the handlebar is maybe the most exciting part of today's video. There's a key lock system, so that is not easy to steal it. When leaving the scooter out of your sight, always lock it, because 30 kilos are easy to lift and steal. On the left, we have the light controls. There's a 6 light system integrated, which includes turn signals. Yes, you can be part of the traffic and warn the others about the direction you're going. On the right, acceleration lever, the button for switching between the different gears, and there's a voltage indicator. We won't forget to comment about the brake levers. These 2 disc brakes are amazing about braking. Just notice how short the braking distance is. Perhaps this is the champion about braking in the sub-$1,000 scooter niche. But, of course, the highlight of the top area is this stunning display. A lot brighter than last year's Kugoo Kirin G3 and showing a lot more information. I loved the idea to see in real time the motor's load. It helps to find a battery-friendly style of riding, because my first achievements were far from ideal. I was just 16 kilometers away from the start and the battery was showing as half empty. If you wonder about the range achievements I got during testing, not sure if it is because of the battery, but at Gear 3 I can't go beyond 35. At Gear 2 it was just 3 kilometers more. And please forgive me for not being patient enough to maintain the 15 kilometers per hour speed provided by the Eco mode, so I guess this is the one that can give you the really good achievements close to 50 kilometers. Now, time to make a list with the drawbacks. There is no smartphone app support, the scooter is not suitable for rainy or too wet conditions, the motor is rather weak for the size, range is not that great, and I've shared my concerns about the folding mechanism. Just comes to show that nobody's perfect. But despite these shortcomings, the Kugoo Kirin G2 Pro is a very solid choice. I would say focus here is on the solid construction, the very smooth kind of riding and the super safe overall riding experience thanks to the dual braking system. It's not about motor performance, and as mentioned, I have serious concerns about the range and the overall battery endurance, which sadly in certain situations are no better than even what Mi Scooter 4 Pro is providing. But overall, I think that's an excellent choice for a city scooter or something that you can use going for gravel roads or light off-road experience. And I really hope all that makes good sense. If you have any other follow-up questions, then you're invited. Comments are down below the video. As usual, link to the product. More information about how you can support the channel is posted in the video description area. My name is Michael. It's been such a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Cheers!